You think you've seen creativity? Nah, because I'm about to show you someone that embodies it. Meet Mrs. Aisha Augie, who is a filmmaker, photographer, visual disruptor, and low-key the definition of quiet confidence, loud impact. She's from Argungun and she has been shaping the Nigerian visual culture long before we even understood the word aesthetics. And her entire vibe is based on duality, where she shows every side of each story. And today, you're going to meet her, an individual who has made spaces for herself in rooms that she didn't always fit in. So lock in because today's episode is about depth, it's about perspective, and it's about giving everything that it's supposed to give. So welcome on today's episode of POV. My name is Amina Jaffer, and as always, you're going to have a great time. So thank you so much for honoring us. I hope you're happy to be here. How does it feel to be on POV?
Well, excellent. Thank you so much for having me.
Okay.
I'll call you Mamana because my mom's name is Amina.
Oh, I'm so honored. I'm so honored.
So nice to meet you.
Okay, so we're just going to dive right in. And we have a culture. We like to start in a Gen Z way. So I don't know if you're familiar with Gen Z.
Let me put on my Gen Z.
Okay, great. Okay. So we like to start, we wanted to give Gen Z right from the beginning.
Okay.
So my first question is a little bit deep, but I would also want to see the Gen Z side of it, how it's going to, how people are going to relate to it. So we know when you're behind the camera telling stories about Northern Nigeria, women, and identity, what actually drives you in that moment? I want you to be honest. Is it emotion? Is it intention? Is it instinct? Or is it just vibes?
I think intention. Initially, it was more emotion, trying to also figure out my own identity and the various things that affected me directly, but just not me, even my friends, my family, the where I'm from, basically. And I felt like we didn't have enough people telling those stories. And so it started out as that accidentally, and then it became more intentional, where it was now like we don't have the people telling these stories, and I don't see why it shouldn't be me. I ended up focusing a little bit more on issues to do with identity and gender without even realizing it. But in an interview, I had someone who was interviewing me to write a book. And he asked, I saw your portfolio and it's mostly identity and gender. Why? And I think that question really got me thinking, because I didn't even realize I was going towards that direction. But I think for someone who has had the opportunity to be everything you can think of when it comes to family, I'm both a northerner and an easterner. I grew up, my dad was a Muslim, my mom Catholic, so it was one of those things where I had that struggle of identity, and for those who already had it and had that pride, it was something that resonated very well with me, and I felt I should go ahead and tell those stories.
And you moved in that direction.
I did.
So this is the Gen Z part.
Okay.
So, so the fact that obviously you had a lot of time to decide, this is what I wanted to do, even though you had already started doing it. So this your work that you did, this being behind the camera, you said it was guided by intention. How does it make you feel? Does it make you feel more or like clock it, I'm doing a great job, or like it's just vibes, or it's just, what's that Gen Z term, that word that you can use to describe that feeling that you get when you're behind the camera?
It was just vibes in the beginning until I realized I could make money from it.
Okay, you hear that? Follow the vibes.
I think when you have a passion, and it can also be your job, there's nothing more beautiful than that. But then when it becomes your job, it can become very stressful, because when it's vibes, it's easy. You're not overthinking things, you're just flowing with it. But when it gets to other people actually having to submit to your own creative process, it can be quite frustrating. And then you end up having to have other hobbies because your job is now
it's not really what you want.
Yes. But I think vibes was really it in the beginning.
Okay, so let's follow the vibes.
Yes.
Okay.
Go with the vibe. The vibe can become something else. Yes.
Okay. All right then. So the next question. So a lot of people call you one of Nigeria's most influential visual storytellers. And we told you you're an icon, a legend. And we believe you're a voice for women and youth. So how does that label land with you for real? Like, do you feel it, or does it still shock you when you hear it? Like right now, when I said it,
I don't feel it, to be honest. And I think if you stick too much to all these labels and identity and what people people putting you in a box, you end up not flowing and you're overthinking or caring about what people think. I really genuinely try.
Just be you.
I try, but I really don't care, to be honest.
Okay.
I think I just take each day as it comes, and I've taken many risks in my life that I shouldn't have, but that fell through for me. And I feel as a young person, that is the best thing you can do for yourself. Take the risks and fail.
I'm so grateful you brought that up, because that's our next question.
Okay.
Because I was just about to ask you, in this entire journey, what's one risk that you took? And
I've taken many risks, trust me, many. Even becoming a photographer was a risk. I had a full-time job. I quit that to do that. I became a strong person in the photography world, and I ended up now entering governance and government, mainly because obviously my sector wasn't really a strong focus.
It wasn't getting
and we're glad attention. Today we have a Ministry of Arts, Culture, that is focused on that and the creative economy, obviously. I think for me, I would say I've been winging it through life. Obviously there are times I'm intentional. I'm not like stupidly going into things. I do a lot of research. I learn about the area or whatever it is that I'm trying to do. I look at what other people have done. Obviously, I reach out to mentors. But the one thing I know about us creatives is that that's why we are called creatives. We do things people don't normally do, right?
Do things
so I've taken a lot of risks. And I think I always say that to young people.
And did they pay off?
They all did, luckily for me. There are a few, even with the failures, you learn. I thought I was a studio. I had a studio. I was running a business, but I hated it. I hated having to be in studio. I want to be outside. So that was a fail, because I realized I didn't have the passion for being in the studio with all the lights. I'd rather carry my equipment and be in the bush or document life as it's happening, because you never know what's going to come. You can't curate real life. And so sometimes when you capture stories that you were not expecting, it's something that touches different. You. Yes, yes.
Wow. That's amazing. So we should take a lot of risks.
Take as many risks as you can. You can only take risks when you're younger. So don't wait until it's too late, when things are too rigid for you to be able to. As a young person, you can be fluid. Take as many risks as you can.
Now we're taking notes. We're taking notes. Okay, so this is bringing me to the next question. Also, I heard you spoke about the Ministry of Arts and Culture, and I've been finding it difficult to pronounce the CBAAC.
CBAC. So we made it easy for everybody. The Center for Black and African Arts and Civilization.
Okay, great. So you're the DG of CBAC.
Yes.
Okay, CBAC, everybody.
Exactly.
So for young people, I want to know what CBAC means for young people. How did you start this? And how was your journey? And what does this mean for the young people watching right now? What does CBAC mean for us?
First, CBAC is a Pan-African agency under the Ministry of Arts, Culture, Tourism and Creative Economy. I was hired by the President of Nigeria with the support of our Honorable Minister, Barrister Hannatu Musa. And the agency is a very historical one. A lot of people are not aware about this agency, and our mission is to promote, propagate, preserve Black and African contributions to arts, culture, history, and civilization. And it started off in 1977 out of an actual festival, the Festival for Black and African Arts and Culture, that had 59 countries in Nigeria. In fact, Stevie Wonder received his Grammy on stage in 1977. Mariam Makeba was here. Like, we can list a whole lot of
big names,
big artists, especially, and big names, presidents. Meetings were held Pan-African, and we're talking the likes of Cuba, Australia, Brazil. Nigeria was a strong leader in bringing the Black world together. The festival will be 50.
For nothing.
Yes, we were properly a giant, and our hope is to bring back that spirit of Pan-Africanism and bring all Black people together, regardless of where they are in the world. At the 50th anniversary is in 2027. So the agency houses everything: the history, the research. We have 126 publications. Anybody who wants to do research on Black people always end up coming to CBAC. And so obviously we're trying to do various things where the Gen Z culture, we're connecting to that. We're creating VR games, animations, virtual museums. We're digitizing everything so our young people can have access to it, and hopefully have games that allow them to learn about their history. I think the one disconnect we have is that historical aspect,
Yes.
we don't know how powerful we were.
Yes.
You know, and we need to remind young people that that power, that history has been there. It has been eroded by other narratives, and it's time for us, even as young people, to be able to have access to our true history and be the voices in charge of that.
That's amazing. And I love that. What resonates with me the most is the fact that I keep hearing the people say, when you fail to learn from history, you're bound to repeat
100%.
it. And when spaces like this exist, it just means that young people now have the opportunity to learn their history and know how best to preserve it.
Exactly.
This is excellent work. Oh my God, we must commend you.
Thank you. We have a lot of work to do, though.
Well, we hope there are a lot of opportunities.
No, that's why I'm hoping, because I'm seeing a lot of stories coming up now with using AI, you know, to showcase our history. Like, for example, the Benin walls, which were just as powerful as the Great Wall of China, you know, but our young people don't know that. So I'm happy to see content creators now using AI to tell these stories. And we have a lot more stories to tell. So we call on the young people to use what they have to help us tell these stories. Yes.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So we've talked a lot already. I know we've covered a lot of things right now, and obviously you're a busy person, and you're wearing a lot of hats. You're filling a lot of shoes as it is. And just so that we have a little bit of soft landing, I want to know, while you're doing all of this, while you're being everything that you're currently doing, while you're doing all of these things, what is one thing that you do when you want to take a moment away from work? What's your soft life ritual?
So I burn out a lot. That used to be me. I've changed now. I think I'm picking that Gen Z behavior where balance is very important. So balance is very important for me. I can totally shut down and do absolutely nothing. And when I say nothing, I mean literally nothing, but probably
just
stay in the scene, have some tea, you know, burn some nice candles and just enjoy my life. But I love sunrises and sunsets because I think I made it a deliberate thing, where especially on days that I feel overwhelmed and heavy, or if I have something really bad that has happened to me, every time I see a sunrise or sunset, I remind myself, like, this is a new beginning or the end. So let's just leave whatever it is past. Whatever it is, we'll deal with it whenever it comes. And I'm able to recenter, you know, and just be able to clear my head. But I'm becoming very deliberate about taking time off, whether it's having massages, you know, relaxation, catching time with family. I'm trying to be more deliberate with that. A lot of my friends, I'm sorry, I miss you guys. A lot of my friends, obviously, it's hard to keep track. But we thank God for video calling and calls. Technology. But I'm very deliberate now with taking time off. Yes.
So your soft girl ritual is watch the sunsets,
relax, water, anywhere there's water. Take me to the beach, take me to the lake, take me to a dam, anywhere. You know, the little things that just help your what's the word, your system calm down. I'm trying to do a lot more. Yes, a lot more of that.
All right. Okay, great. Okay, so we've covered a lot of things currently. We've covered your work, we've covered, you know, your journey, if anything. But I want to know, what about your inspiration? What inspired you?
What inspired me?
Yeah, what inspired you then, and what inspires you now to keep doing what you're doing?
I think life. I remember one time my mom said something like, you only have one life to live, and if you die, God will ask you, like, I gave you this opportunity, what did you do with it? And I think that really resonated with me, where it's like every hour, and because I as a photographer, I used to charge by the hour. Time is money. That's one. Two, you know, what inspires me to keep going is really always connecting it to something that's
meaningful to
you. Like, I love social enterprise. I love social entrepreneurs. I love people who look at solutions and are able to use that as an opportunity. I mean, problems, and are able to use that as an opportunity. So I tend to focus a lot more on that. I've been fully diagnosed with ADHD. So
you're really feeling this Gen Z era.
Yes, I'm very, very much, because now I'm hearing a lot more of it, and then you realize, oh, so
there's
this
nothing
is
wrong
really
with
what
me.
it was. I was just neurodivergent and different. And having that, you get to realize that your mind can go all over the place. And I think the luck for me is that I've never allowed any opportunity that comes my way. Not every opportunity is a blessing. Remember that. Some opportunities can come to scatter everything, and others may help you grow. But I've always been one to take whatever opportunity I see. And if I see a problem, I can't shut up. I shut up on social media a lot because I don't like to be in trouble, and I feel like it can cause a lot of distractions.
Yes,
but I tend to work a lot behind the scenes on actionable ways to solve problems.
Quiet impact.
Yes.
Quiet impact.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So as as we're moving on, we want to get a little bit more into you as an individual, aside your work, outside your work. So we want you to give us one nobody ever believes this about me fun fact.
Just one.
That thing that makes people pause and be like, what?
Anytime I say I'm broke, nobody believes me. Nobody believes when I say I'm broke. Like, everyone thinks I look like money. Like, how can she say she's broke?
Giving more, like you stand
and
up
I think I'm more broke most times than even when I'm rich. I'm rich obviously in life. I'm rich in experiences, but like cash, always broke. I'm the worst with money. But people never believe me when I say I'm broke. I think that's one thing. And of course, another thing is when they see my children, it's like, no,
they can't big be boys. Yours.
Yes.
Like, how?
My first is 20, 18, and then 13. So a lot of people are like, nope. So I think those...
You look 20.
Oh, yeah, right. I'll pick 28. I can settle for 28.
Okay, all right then. Okay, so what's one solid piece of advice you'd give someone chasing a dream that people don't understand? Those unpopular paths that don't look realistic to everyone else.
The world will catch up. Like, the people will catch up. Just do you. At a time when we started out, like, we were seen as no future ambition. NFA, team NFA, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, even I look back and I can count the number of people that said, yes, of course, this is great. I can count.
With one hand.
No, even less, maybe 2 fingers. But if you worry about what people think or how people would come up with their things, that's why you're creative. In our sector, you create, you're new. What you do could change the entire sector. So you can't be caring about what people think. I think if it's from a business perspective, knowing and understanding what drives a business is very important, because as creatives, we tend to get carried away with the actual creativity and not the business side. Yes. So what I've learned is you don't have to do it all. Find the person who understands how to make your business into a business while you can still focus on that creative side of you. But don't really care, to be honest. As long as what you're doing is not disturbing anybody, is not breaking any major societal norms, I think you're good to go. Just try.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much. So we've come to the end of the segment.
Okay.
We would like to end with a sentence, and we would like you to complete that sentence for us.
All right.
Okay, so it's going to go like this. For me, storytelling is more than creativity. It's a tool for
life-changing opportunities.
Okay, so you have to look in that camera, and then you'll start with, for me, storytelling is more than creativity. It's a tool for. Okay.
For me, storytelling is more than creativity. It is a tool for life-changing opportunities.
Thank you very much, and that brings us to the end of this segment of POV.